Hey, thank you for joining us on another episode of Dad Bods of Touchdowns. I'm joined here with Eric and our special guest this week. Jacob is making a return. Good to see you,
Yes,
Jake.
sir. Good to see
No,
you guys.
I know you're enjoying a little 2-week vacation and after working your ass off the last few months. So good to have you on. All right,
Good to be
guys.
back.
Yeah. All right, guys. Week 17. But Cowboys beat the Commanders 30 to 23. Then you had the Lions who didn't know how to hold the ball and had 6 turnovers, 5 of them accounted for by Jared Goff. Had them lose to the Vikings 23 to 10. Then you had the Broncos beat the completely 100% injured Kansas City Chiefs with a third string quarterback. The Broncos actually, to be honest with you, I was a little nervous they were going to lose that game at one point in time. They ended up winning 20 to 13. Not a good showing from a very strong Broncos team. I mean, I guess if there's a bad time to have a bad week, they picked the perfect time to do so. Would you guys agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I was watching the games at work and I was hoping for a little bit more and it was just very flat. Everybody that I thought that was going to win didn't perform the way I thought. Like Dallas looked flat against the old Washington team, and then Detroit
Yeah, they did.
self-imploded, and then Denver looked offenses just garbage. I don't know how they keep winning. I think it's probably just because of the defense, obviously, but
Yeah, but even the defense had some downfalls.
just that they made a third string quarterback look somewhat athletic or relevant. It was just not the best holiday
games.
football, but Netflix did a good job. I thought. What did you guys think about Netflix?
I thought so. I mean, for what we've seen out of Netflix, I mean, they're stepping up their game.
I didn't think it was bad. Personally, I didn't.
I have to be honest. I didn't care for it as much as far as their pregame. I thought Seth Rollins is a little over the top.
He's WWE. I mean, that's just what,
but I mean, are we further into the NFL scripted people? Even having more ammo to go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I even Manti Te'o. His take on the game, all I could think about was getting catfished. So I have to be honest
that was like
with you.
100 years ago. Chad, leave the man alone. Leave the man
It
alone.
doesn't matter. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm like, man, they have one. And you have Brandon Marshall, who I am a fan of as far as a wide receiver. I thought he was okay. You could tell that he's very new to it and will learn. I think he knows enough about the game that he'll do a good job. And then you had Michael Irvin, Michael Irvin is all I'm going to say. You see him on the University of Miami sidelines, and it's always very interesting. Overall, I think they did a good job during the game. Pre-games, I just wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah, I mean, I just the overall how they had their flaunting on like the scores and stuff, their halftime show. It
And
didn't
talking to
lag.
people during the game.
Yeah,
that was
I thought it was a nice spin to the normal, what we were used to, I guess. I thought.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree there. All right, guys. Let's look back real quick at week 16. What's one of the games that just shocked you that either the team won or the team lost? What kind of effect do you think it is?
The fact that the Jags looked so, I mean, I keep going back to the Jags because I secretly hate them, but the fact that they just look exactly, they made Denver look so defense looked so like not even like coherent. I think like they just looked slow, and just the secondary was not what I thought it was or what it is.
I think Trevor Lawrence had a good game.
Exactly. And then Trevor Lawrence, I mean, Duval, I mean, was it what's his name? Cohen? Right? Liam Cohen.
Yep.
Liam Cohen. I mean, whatever he's doing with Trevor Lawrence, I mean, it's fucking working because I had no faith in them. I thought it was a good game. Can I do a second one? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because I'm very upset about this. I like Carolina, but what the fuck's up with Tampa Bay? We've talked about this. What the fuck's up with Baker, bro? Like, come on! I had so much hope for them, and
that is actually the game that I had as my shock.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. I'm shocked. I mean, listen, Baker's a better quarterback than what showed that day. That last interception, he was under a little bit of pressure that ended the game for him. I think this falls directly on Todd Bowles' leadership, and I like Todd Bowles as a head coach. I like him as a D coordinator. I just think that he's lost control of what Tampa has. Tampa has a lot of talent defensively, and they have some good talent on the offensive side of the ball. I just think that he's lost control of that team, and it showed this game where now you got the Panthers, who's probably going to walk away with the NFC South and that last position, for that playoff spot. I mean, these 2 weeks are going to be really important for Tampa Bay and Carolina both.
Yeah, I couldn't say it anymore. I mean, Carolina could possibly win the division. I mean, they're dark horse Bryce Young and them. I mean that run game that they have. I mean, it definitely came out of nowhere. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are, especially getting rid of Burns and so many other players. But
And that rookie wide receiver is very good.
I was a big fan of him. I mean, being 6'4" and just being just a stud. I mean, and I'm a fan of Xavier Legette. I just like his accent. I'll be honest, but he's cool. Other than that, it was a lot of really good football games this week. I mean, obviously we could talk about the Bears game, but we'll talk about that in a little bit when we talk Bears. But it's some really close games. Jake, what do you got for the game that you liked last week?
That I liked, or that shocked me, sir. We're gonna go with that. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I'll be honest. I know it's to me the Lions game. Because that was like a must win to me. You needed that game, and just the way it ended to me was just like a what the fuck moment.
You saw Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you saw Aaron Rodgers like going like this every time they almost scored, and I was oh, he's feeling it. He's feeling it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was sitting at home, and granted, I was like, we need them to lose, but I'm just like, deep down inside, I'm like, I know that they're gonna pull it off. They're gonna pull it off, and they didn't. I was like, God damn.
Oh, the fact that they didn't even get a chance to when the ref said it's a touchdown, so I'm like, oh, they won. And then they're like, no, they didn't win. And I listened to the St. Brown's podcast, and he was talking about how fans were leaving the game thinking they won, and other people would have to tell them, no, they lost because it was a runoff off the game, and they didn't get a chance. Because it was a touchdown, but there was whatever illegal shift or whatever they ended up.
I think it was pass interference.
No, pass interference.
Was it pass interference?
It was a push off without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
I see. Okay, so because of the push off, they didn't get a second chance at the play, and so it was like a whole big confusion thing because people didn't know what was the official score.
Let's talk about something that happened in that game and obviously cost a player the rest of the season. DK Metcalf got into it with a fan. It was brief. I mean, I shouldn't say really got into it, but he definitely threw a punch straight up. Some people are calling it a shove. Listen, when your hand's closed and you're pushing up towards the top of somebody's face, that to me is a punch. How do you guys feel about the 2-game suspension and the fine that he received?
He needs more. In honesty, you're an all-class athlete. You're expected to, show nothing but class. And to me, I mean, granted, no matter what was said and no matter the, because I've heard problems that he's had with this fan, you just got to let bygones be bygones and just walk away from it. I mean, it's not worth it. And he let the words get the best of him, whatever was said, because no one truly knows. And
yeah, I mean, supposedly he said he used a derogatory statement towards him for his actions. I watched the video, and to me, the guy really didn't have time to really say anything. I mean, he walks over and he immediately just grabs him and pulls him down. And it's not like he pulled him down so he could hear him. That's not the kind of pull down I've seen happening. I will say this. I don't condone what he did, okay? But I also think, I know the fans are there to cheer. They're there to get into the other team's head. I get that. That's part of the game. You talk about Seattle with the 12th man and so on and so forth. But there also has to be where you don't cross certain lines. And we don't know what was said directly when he walked over there. I think that something was probably said out of character? Absolutely. I mean, I think that fan is not innocent of that, of course. But in the same return, like you said, Jake, I mean, as a player, you have to hold that professionalism and use your head and know when to walk away. I think 2 games is significant enough, the amount that he's going to lose. I forgot the total dollar amount that he's losing, but I know it's pretty big.
I'm with you guys. My part is, I don't think you should lose that $54 million. That's the part that you're talking about, Jeff.
Yes, yeah.
$54 million guaranteed because of that. A little sketchy to me. That's not just, I mean, that's not a fine. That is, some people are lucky to make that their whole NFL career. There has to be a happy medium with that money. That's too much. I personally think, yes, the fan did whatever, but you can't take.
That's a team decision too.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I'm
not a
saying.
league,
That is not. I mean, I understand the contract is the contract, but
Yeah.
I personally think that's weird to me. $54 million just because. I mean, yes, you had an altercation, but I mean,
I look at Pittsburgh as one of the more classier ownerships in the league, and their decision making and how they handle their coaches, how they handle their players, with the exception of wide receivers. What happens in Pittsburgh and their wide receivers, I don't know what the hell it is, but they got to figure out what they're drinking in that wide receiver room, because they have had a lot
Antonio
of problems.
Brown,
Oh, yeah.
Claypool,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Pickens, now Metcalf. I agree with you guys.
yeah,
I think there has to be a happy medium with that part. That's the only part I didn't agree with. Other than that, I mean, I'm sorry, you are famous. You are held to a higher standard. That's just what comes with being in the position he is.
Yeah.
yep,
And
Especially having all the support and everything around you to take care of
and
those
you
situations.
just gotta be like, hey, tell one of the security guys or whoever, like, figure him out or figure that out. Like, that's not cool. But I mean, at that, and also we're all human though. Like,
yeah,
there's a few things that people can say to me that I might blow a top because that's just how. I mean, anybody that's high headed like we are is like that. It's just what
right.
it is.
No, absolutely. All right, the playoff pictures are definitely becoming a little bit clearer. 5 of those teams have clinched. In the AFC, you got New England, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Denver, and the Chargers. You got Pittsburgh that's leading the North currently over the Ravens, that does not have Lamar Jackson playing this week. You got the Texans and the Colts all vying for a playoff spot there. 2 spots left, guys, for the AFC. Out of those teams, who do you think is going to secure up those last 2 spots?
I think you're able to give it one to the Steelers. I mean, I don't see Mike Tomlin losing.
Steelers in Houston, probably.
Yeah, and in Houston, yeah.
Because the Colts, I'm sorry to Philip Rivers. Like, I thought he had a chance, but they just couldn't pull through.
Yeah.
Like, it just. I personally wanted them to find a way, because that would have been a cool storyline, but
Yeah, no, I agree.
it's just not there. It's just not there. But yeah, I agree with Jake. It's Pittsburgh and Houston probably.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I was thinking too. I think Pittsburgh wins that AFC North, and I think the Texans defense secures up everything. So
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
All right. NFC has 6 teams locked up. There's only 1 spot left, guys. In the playoffs right now, you got the Eagles, the Bears, the Packers, Seattle, San Francisco, and the Rams. All right. Essentially, whoever wins that South, like we were just talking about not too long ago, between Carolina, who leads that division by 1 right now over Tampa. These last 2 games are huge. Who do you think ends up winning that, guys?
I think Carolina, honestly. I mean,
I
after
don't-
beating Tampa, they got the tiebreaker, and they're getting hot when they need to. And Chad, we've talked about this. It's about the team that can run the ball, and Carolina has a top tier run game with the
Yes, they do.
3-headed monster they have.
Dowd,
Yeah, all of them just running to people. So I think it's at Carolina, but it's gonna be fun to watch. I honestly think they take the Seattle game. I mean, it's gonna. I'm telling you, bro. There's something in the air that just feels that way. But I mean, I'm not always right. So we'll see what happens.
When we come to our picks, Eric, when we come to our picks, we'll hit on that one, because that is one of our games of the week that we had to make a pick on. I'm with you, though. I agree. I think that the Panthers have proven, actually, not just with the Tampa game, but look what they did to the Rams. Even though it was in North Carolina, I mean, they beat the Rams pretty handily. I mean, they made Matthew Stafford throwing interceptions and pick sixes, and like you said, that run game's just really good. I can see them winning that division without a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys.
Opposite you guys.
You're the opposite. You want Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I say Baker getting it done.
I like Baker. I'm a big fan of him and what he's done since he's left Cleveland, but I just don't see it happening. That's a tough win for him. All right, guys. Max Crosby, big story today. They sat him for the rest of the season due to a knee injury. To me, he's not that injured when he's pissed off that he's not playing. Max Crosby, to me, is, we've talked about it before, between him and Myles Garrett, probably the 2 best defensive players in the league when it comes to the defensive line. Does he leave Vegas after this? Does he seek a trade?
I think he's fed up with the organization as right now. I mean, you're not winning. Let's be honest. Granted, everyone wants to stay where they want, where they're at.
Well,
But
it was
at the end of
rumored.
the day,
It was rumored coming in, and then around the trade deadline, remember there was rumors
Yep.
flying about it again. And my favorite saying, "Where there's smoke, there's fire," and stuff starts moving. I think they try to hold on to whatever they can. This might be the last straw for Max. I think that he's a player and he wants to play no matter what the records are. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
it's about that they almost won that game last week. That was an unnecessary win. The run game and everything looked good. So I think Vegas is, like you said, throwing it just to try to play with the Giants. And I mean, I see where he's coming from, but I also see where the organization is coming from. They need a quarterback. They need a lot of help in the whole team. I mean, if you can make a trade like the Bears made, look how that changed the organization in 3 years. But I see where he's coming from, though. I would be pissed because they're messing with your money and they're messing with your legacy at the end of the day.
right now, if a team does trade for him, and that's what happens. I mean, we've seen what Green Bay gave Dallas for Micah Parsons. To me, I think Max Crosby's a better defensive player than Micah Parsons. He can play the run and obviously get to the quarterback. What do you think a team's going to have to give up for somebody like Max Crosby? 3
That's
first
tough.
rounders?
Yeah.
You
I'd
know
have to
what I
say something like more than what you said. Hands down to me, Crosby's way better than Parsons. You got to make that deal a lot more sweeter.
Yeah, I mean,
The only thing that's stopping that, I think, though, is his age. He's nearing 29. He's probably got 3-4 years of high play. I'm talking about a Pro Bowl play, not, I'm just saying that's the only thing that would stop somebody from paying more than Parsons, I think.
I just think that, I mean, and actually got in a discussion earlier today with a Packer fan who was talking about how, Bears play the Packers in the playoffs. And this guy doesn't understand that they gave away their future for a torn ACL.
They gave away
they
their
did.
future for this year and
Yep.
next.
And this for the next 3 years, essentially.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the thing, though. Like with that ACL tear, you're not getting Parsons till midseason, if that, and it's
Right.
going to take them a
But
little bit
when I talk about their future, I'm talking about their first round draft picks and their second round draft pick, and the amount of money that they paid him that they're not going to be able to pay other players to come in and play. They're going to have salary cap issues going on next season. The 2026 season, it's going to be a problem for them.
Their run game's going to be obsolete. Their offensive line, they're going to have to resign a few people, and they can't.
Yeah.
And then, not to talk about, they can't find a good receiver, and their best tight end is out with an ACL tear. So that team's a shambles.
But that's why I'm saying, I mean, what would you, when you look at what Micah Parsons, what was given for him, and now you're looking at Max Crosby, you brought up his age. What would you give for him? I mean,
probably closer to like
2, 3 first round picks.
No, I didn't think 3. I was saying not 3, 2,
Okay.
and like maybe a 2 first and a second or third, or a swap of something like that, or a player and a first. I would trade for him. I would give them Jalen Johnson and a first overall pick.
Here we go.
I'm just
All
saying.
right, we'll talk about that. We'll get the Bears talk then. Let's touch base on another one. Smoke, fire, Eric, Lamar Jackson. Is he going away from Baltimore at the end of this season? There's rumors out there that he's fallen asleep during meetings, during film sessions. There's rumors that Harbaugh is fed up with him and his approach to the game right now. Do you think he's gone from Baltimore?
I think he wasn't as locked in this year. I agree, because the years prior, I felt like he was like in better shape. He didn't get injured. So there's something going on. And especially when your head coach has to reinforce that they have an A+ morale or whatever. I'm like, you don't have to say that. If you think it's fine, then you don't have to imply that. Like, it doesn't have to be said. But I mean, if you want 3 first overall picks, you're gonna get 3 first overall picks for Lamar. So I mean, you could probably try to do that. I mean, I was gonna ask you the same thing about, there was some word that Dallas wants to get rid of their Prescott. I was gonna tell you that, but I forgot. Now that you said that, it reminded me. So I think this offseason is gonna be exciting with the quarterbacks. because I mean, Kyler Murray, same thing. I mean, there's a few quarterbacks that are probably going to be moved this offseason.
Jake, what do you think? You think Lamar's got a different uniform on next year?
I believe so. I mean, if all the rumors are true, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know, you got to have somebody that wants to be there, wants to win, you know, and there's so many people out there that, you know, do need quarterbacks. I mean, I guarantee you they'll have no problem finding somebody for them. As long as someone will take it, you know, obviously, you know, we have Pittsburgh, you know, without taking these wide receivers that have nothing but trouble, someone will sign them at least, or, you know, trade for him to see what happens. So it wouldn't surprise me.
I couldn't see Baltimore trading him to Pittsburgh though.
No, I'm not saying Pittsburgh. I'm just no.
Interdivision, that would be a bad deal for them.
No,
imagine like Atlanta, Miami, something cool like that. Like, what if Burrow leaves too?
Miami can't afford. Miami cannot afford him.
I know. Or like Las Vegas. Las Vegas would probably try and do something crazy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Where they are at. I mean, imagine the blockbuster kind of stuff that would happen this offseason.
Imagine Max Crosby going to Baltimore for a trade with Lamar Jackson and Vegas. I mean, then you're not giving up. I mean, that's pretty close to an even swap when you're talking packs. To one team to the other. I mean, yeah, that I could see. I agree. It's going to be an exciting offseason because the other question I had for you guys, JJ McCarthy, guys, he's out again. He's got a fracture in his hand. I'm guessing he's done for the season. He's not playing another game. All right. So if that's the case, in the 2 seasons that he's been in the NFL, he's had a possibility of playing 36 games, right? Out of those 36 games possible to play, he's only played 9. Is it time for them to start going, we need to bring somebody else in here?
Yes.
That, or they need to invest in his offseason, just training overall nutrition. I mean, he's only, 20 going into 23, turning 23. He was young coming in 21. I mean, I think they should try to do something or trade for somebody. With their head coach, I think he is pretty good with the quarterback, so I think he can develop.
He is, but now, not just the injury aspect, but Jake, I mean, I know you've probably read the same stuff. I mean, obviously it's been out there. He stated that he was told not to do something in practice when it came to running that ball in the end zone. He was told to practice, don't do that. Yeah. And he did it anyway. He goes, yeah, I knew. I was told not to, so the rebel in me said to do it. So you've got a guy that flat out is doing the opposite of what his coach wants to do, and he's played 9 out of 36 games for you. I mean, what do you think? I mean,
to me, right there, that just shows somebody who just doesn't give a fuck, you know. And at the end of the day, you want somebody that's going to care and listen and, you know, do what he's got to do. But at the end of the day, I mean, they could find somebody else. And you got, like you said, he's young, but you know, if somebody's dealing with so many injuries, how much is changing his nutrition actually going to change that?
Right. Eric, and you said that he plays for a great coach, right? Let me ask you this and kind of a rebuttal. All right. And I do think he's a good coach. I want to say that first and foremost. He was drafted the same year as Caleb Williams, right? What would happen if Caleb Williams was told in practice, hey, I don't want you doing this, by Ben Johnson, and then went out in the field and did it anyway? Do you think Caleb Williams would be like, yeah, I was told not to do it, but I'm a rebel, I'm going to do it anyway? How would that flow with Ben Johnson?
Yeah, it wouldn't flow. I mean, I don't know. It just, from what we saw with him doing with, you know, Sam Darnold and who was it, Kirk Cousins, and I think he has the right approach to develop a quarterback that wants to be taught, and maybe JJ is that quarterback. I just think you have to try to do everything just because of where he was drafted, and your options are limited unless you're trying to trade the house like they did for Parsons. And I don't know if the Vikings will do that.
I don't disagree with you on that, but I just think it's something that they would definitely have to look at.
No, 100%. I don't disagree. I mean, I said he was overrated because, you know, everybody was on this hype bus when he beat us for week 1. So, and I'll continue to say that because it's fun, and I don't like anybody but the Bears. So.
Time for one of my favorite segments, Gold or Fool's Gold. And I know this is always good for a debate. First one, Bears are good enough to make the Super Bowl this year. Jake, Gold or Fool's Gold?
You know, the inner homer in me really wants to say, you know, gold. but we have our struggles that still need to be ironed out. I mean, I'm just gonna go with fool's gold at this point in time. You know, like I just said, there's a lot of kinks in there that just need to be ironed out, and then maybe I'll say gold, but I'm not seeing it just yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Eric, gold or fool's gold? Let's hear it.
I know you want me to say gold, but I just don't think our defense is there. The
Defense wins
fact that we
championships.
it does, and it shows in the playoffs. I it's hard for me to say gold. I'd rather say fool's gold and proven wrong than say gold.
I have to agree with both you guys. I think it's fool's gold. We always say it, defenses win championships, and our offense, I feel, is at a championship level. I do believe our offense is ready for a Super Bowl, both with our running backs, our wide receiver core when they're healthy, and then, but I think our defense is just not there. Our secondary is really lackluster, and our linebackers, as good as we think they are, struggle when it comes to playing the run. And our defensive line obviously cannot get to the quarterback. We struggle. Booker is looking better. I don't care how nasty he hits somebody. That was good shit against Green Bay, and I will applaud that. Was the flag necessary on Booker? 100%. But did Love lower his helmet? Yes, he did. I have to go back and say that.
What are you supposed to do that as a defensive player, Chad? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with
you
you.
gotta
I don't
tackle
disagree
lower.
with you. But two of those, I mean, you're dropping the weight on the quarterback. I mean, it's hard when you're playing football to earn your body 360 because you don't want to
Especially
hurt
as a
them.
bigger person too, like a
That's
bigger
just
lineman.
it's just
Yeah.
there's a lot of holding and a lot of bullshit with that game, but we'll talk about it. I don't want to get
Yeah.
upset about that. Yeah.
All right, next one, Eric. Jags are good enough to make the Super Bowl this year after their big win against Denver that we talked about earlier.
That's tough. Yes, their offense and their defense is better than the Bear defense, just because of the fact that they have a defensive line and they're pretty stout. I know they allow points and stuff. It feels like they can they have more on the defensive side than we do. That's the only reason I would say gold.
Gotcha. Jake, gold or fool's gold?
I'm gonna go fool's gold all the way. Yeah, they beat Denver, but at the same time, I'm just not feeling it. It doesn't seem like they're 100% there yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to have to agree. Fool's gold. I think that they're a good team. I think Liam Cohen, like we said earlier, has done a really good job with coaching that team and bringing them to a championship level. I just feel that they're not consistent enough and haven't been consistent enough against good teams. So I'm going to have to say fool's gold when we get into our Power Five. Obviously, we'll see where we've got them at, but I will say right now, I would have to say fool's gold.
Question real quick, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, right, we do have the best takeaway team, and that is a part of the defense. That bend but don't break defense that we showed against the Packers. I mean, do I change my mind here just because I was trying to think of it this logically? Because if we can take the ball away, we're known to win. But you can't count. Can you count takeaways as a defensive thing? Or I don't know how to word that exactly, but you know what I'm trying to say. Is takeaways something you can count as a defense?
See, the way I was looking at it is, when it comes to our games, and our defense can show up in some big, big situations. But at the same time, too, how many of those big, big situations can we survive? That's the way I look at it.
Might change it to gold if they go in to San Francisco and manhandle them. And that's the only thing. And our defense is going to rely heavily on the fact of if we can have 13 or 14 play possessions from our offense, which completely throws the other team's offense off. You know what I mean? When they're sitting on the sideline for 15 minutes or 16 actual minutes of time, that throws their rhythm off. Then yes, I think the Bears defense is good enough. But unfortunately, we have a lot of 3 and outs that causes us, even when you only run 6 plays on a possession, I think that's costly to our defense.
No, I don't disagree. I just trying to think about it because the Packers did a really good job of trying to mimic us from the first game and being able to run the ball, control the clock, and frustrate us. And that's what hurt us when Malik came in. because he was able to move the pocket and evade.
We'll talk
pass
about that
rushers and
game when
stuff.
we come upon it.
I know. I'm
We'll
just
touch
saying.
base.
I'm just saying. I see where you're coming from because that
Yeah.
is frustrating when the team can hold the ball for so long.
Yep. All right, Eric, your game of the week.
This is hard for me because I just want to go with the obvious one. Obviously, I want to say the Bears game, but no, I think the Carolina Seattle game, like we talked about, I think that's a big game just because of that, the meaning that that can make Seattle the number 1 seed, or Carolina can lock down a playoff position. And I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. That 7 spread seems a little too big for me. And plus Carolina's at home, so we know they've been able to play really good games at home, and I think that's a good game to watch.
Jake, what's your game of the week?
I went the obvious. I just went the Bears 49ers. I mean, to me, this is make or break, and this is going to see where we end up and where we lie when it comes to playoff time. I mean, granted, we've already, are in the playoffs, but this is gonna lay it out for us.
I went Texans and Chargers. The Texans, obviously, the defense have been playing very, very well. The Chargers defense and offense have both stepped up here lately. Texans are vying for that last spot for them to be able to make the playoffs. They're a game up on the Colts. They have to win this game. I know they got the tiebreaker against the Colts, but in the same return, you want to finish it up this week. I feel that game is going to be really good and have deep implications of how it's going to go. So that's my take. All right, guys. Our picks for the week for our 7 games. I'll give mine real quick, Eric. And then if you want to read yours, and then I'll give Justin's picks from there. All right. So I've got the Bears over the 49ers. I've got the Texans over the Chargers. I have the Panthers over the Seahawks. I think that run game and their defense is playing really well. I've got the Eagles over the Bills. Then I got Steelers over the Browns, Rams over the Falcons, and my wild card, which won on Christmas, I got the Broncos over the Chiefs, and they beat that depleted Chiefs team. Go ahead, Eric.
I will go Houston over the Chargers. I did say Seattle, but I've changed my mind. I've talked about it too much. Carolina over Seahawks. Pittsburgh Steelers over the Browns. New England Patriots over the Jets. Bills over the Eagles. Bears over the 49ers. And the easy pick of the week is the Rams over the Falcons.
And Justin's got the Chargers over the Texans. He's got the Seahawks over the Panthers. The Jags over the Colts, Steelers over the Browns, Bills over the Eagles, Rams over the Falcons. And for some reason, he must have been drinking when he made this pick, but he took the 49ers over the Bears.
He did it. He's on their wiener.
Put the drink down, Justin. If you listen to this later on, please put the drink down. It's not good for you anymore. All right, guys. Power 5. Our Power 5 for this week. And Jake, we have been all over the place this season with these up and down. There's been a few consistent ones that have made the Power 5. You get to make your Power 5 this week. Why don't you give them to us?
Let's see. I know you guys would be critical of mine, but that's all right. I'm still saying Seattle's number 1 to me. I think that's a tough team to beat. I mean, I don't see them losing out. Next, I mean, right, staying in the NFC, I got the Rams. Rams to me right there. They look soft sometimes, but when they're playing, See, number 3 to me, I know the Jags beat them, but I still got to put the Broncos. They've won too many big games right now for them, not to be in my top list. Obviously, as a homer, I got to put the Bears up there. So I'm putting Bears number 4. And then I'm just loving the way they're playing right now. I'm going Pats. Pats at 5.
All right. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So at number 5, I've got the 49ers, 11-4. Their average opponent's winning percentage is .458. At number 4, I'm like Jake. I got the Chicago Bears. They're 11-4. Their opponent's winning percentage is at .420 right now. So just a little under 500. Number 3, I got the Broncos at 13-3. I think they showed some soft spots the last few weeks. They barely pulled off that win against Green Bay. They lost to the Jags, and then they played a really close game against a very injury-depleted Kansas City team this past week. So I got them at number 3. Number 2, New England, 12-3. The only thing I have to say about New England that's concerning is they literally so far this season, off of the winning percentage, have played the easiest schedule in the NFL. The team's winning percentage is at 391, which is really low. We'll see. I like what Drake May's done. I think he's a very good quarterback. I like what Mike Vrabel's done with that defense there and the leadership he's given to that team. So I have to keep him at number 2 because of that and because of their record. Number 1, listen, the Rams are still to me the best team in the NFL. 11-4. I know they lost to Seattle in Seattle. I know they lost to Carolina in Carolina. 2 losses to me that were really close and could have gone either way. Stafford is going to be the MVP, I got a feeling, this year in the NFL. So for all those reasons, that's why I got the Rams at number 1. Eric, what's your Power 5?
All right. Number 5 with the Bills. I know a lot of people put a lot of faith with the Bills or with one saying that one player has so much power, but I think the Bills still have that power with Josh Allen. Their defense is not very good, but I feel like they can come together. They've been in that position a lot. They've been shown a lot of things in the postseason. So I think the Bills are still a good relevant team with at number 5. I don't want to put the Bears in here, but I'm going to because I feel like it's, bad juju. But anyways, Chicago Bears at number 4. Best run game, top 3 run game. Quarterback keeps playing and evolving every week. The defense doesn't break and gets turnovers when they need to. And then the number 3, I will put the Jags at number 3 just because they show they can win when they have to. And then number 3, we got the New England Patriots. Yes, like we've said, they have an easiest schedule, but they win.
I mean, number 2.
They're number 2. Did I say that? Sorry,
Yeah.
Number 2.
I'll teach you how to count later.
I can't count. Number 2. And then number 1, we'll go with Seattle. Seattle has the best overall just defense and offensive team. I would put Denver up there, but after what I saw from their defense and offense, I don't know if they can come together to be able to make a push in the offseason or postseason. But I mean, this season's been so crazy, dude. I never thought this would be like every there'd be a tie for the 11-4 teams. I mean, there's how many? 2, 4, 6 teams with 11-4 record right now. It's crazy.
No, absolutely. I mean, usually when you hear playoff teams, usually you're 10-7 and up.
Exactly.
We actually talked about that a lot going into the season. If the Bears could be 10-7, they'd probably be a playoff team. If they were a 10-7 team this year, I don't know if that's the case just because of how their season is going. All right, Eric, it's just been bulging out of you because you wanted to talk about it. Let's talk about some Bears, and let's talk about that Week 16 victory by the Bears in one of the most wildest, most exciting games that I've probably watched the Bears play in years, maybe even the most exciting game I've watched ever. They beat the Packers 22-16. I want the Packer fans that watch this or comment bullshit on this to understand. Yes, I realize the last 2 seasons that we are 2-2. All right. Everybody wants to talk about 25 years. Oh, what about the last? All right. You guys gave us plenty of shit for years about looking at our 85 Super Bowl championship. All right. Gave us shit for the last probably 20 years for doing that. Guess what, guys? Stop looking at what you've done the last 20 years and let's talk about the future and what direction it's going. Because what you've seen last Saturday night is the future and what the Bears are doing. I still think the Bears have a lot of growth, but all I want to say is, Packer fans, you lost. You lost. Own it. Own that shit. All right? Sorry. I'm done. I had to say something because I've heard it. I've seen it. I've heard the excuses. Listen, your injuries didn't consist on that onside kick. That was Dobbs. Dobbs, who was a starter for you, who fumbled that ball on the outside kick. All right? You didn't have your second string or third string guy in covering DJ Moore on that touchdown pass. That was Nixon, who happened to hit DJ Moore earlier in the game and probably one of the dirtiest shots I've seen in a while. All right? And then he burned your ass for a touchdown. You know, those 2 players that lost you that game were not injured players or in for injured players. They were your starters. Own that shit. Sorry. Go ahead, Eric. Tell me how you feel about this game.
No, I couldn't say it any better. I'm happy that you're with me there. I mean, they weren't complaining when back in when they won 2011, whatever the fuck that year was, where they hurt Cutler and they beat Haney. But we're fucking great. Fuck off, okay? Fuck you guys. You guys are bitches. All right. The fact of the matter, like Chad said, you lost. Best game I've ever seen in my life. I literally was like, there's no way we just took the kill shot. No other Bears team would have ever done that. They would have done enough to get to the field goal position and kick the field goal to win the game. But what do? We fucking throw the ball down the throat to punch him in the face. I was hyped. I was ecstatic. Every hater, every person. Oh, I didn't know about Caleb. Oh, Caleb not. But now everybody wants to jump back on the wagon. No, fuck you guys. I don't want you on my fucking wagon. You can watch from the outside. I mean, it was a crazy game. Like you already said all the things that I was going to say, basically, with the Nixon. No, you're fine. That's perfectly good with me. I mean, the Nixon tackle, shout out to Malik Willis for fumbling that ball. You had our number for a little bit, but I appreciate you, buddy, for contributing. Other than that, I mean, it's going to be a great rivalry. I mean, we're going to see each other. That'll be fine. But they also got to remember another thing, Chad. They lost to us. They should be 0-4. They were able to get a black field goal, right? That won the one game, and then an interception the week prior. So I don't want to hear about that. Oh, we're so much ahead of you. You're not. We're in with one score, and you're scared because we finally have an offensive coach that can lead a team and a quarterback that can lead a team when it matters. So I'm just hyped. I mean, I can't say any more than that.
Let's talk about the first 3 quarters. I'll be honest with you, not good football, not exciting football. You go in at halftime, you're down by 3. And then you come out and you still kind of lay an egg on the field. I felt the Bears did not play well for 3.5 quarters, to be 100% honest with you. Caleb Williams did come through when it mattered. I mean, if you look at it, Green Bay had 24 first downs. The Bears had 20. Total yards, the Bears did have 400. Green Bay had 384 yards. They were without Jordan Love. And to me, I don't think it mattered. I think Malik looked better than Jordan Love when he was in the game. I felt his passes were more on target. And obviously you said it, his pocket presence and his ability to get out and use his feet is a lot more dangerous than what Jordan Love has to offer. So, Jake, what was your feelings on that game?
All I gotta say is bear down, baby. And you guys couldn't have said any much better. Granted the injuries. I mean, a win's a win. It don't matter. Like you said, there's the stars right there that you rely on that fucked up. So just eat it.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, Green Bay fans turned into the old Chicago Bears fans. They looked for every excuse of why they lost rather than owning the fact that they lost. I mean, and they now know how we feel.
Exactly.
Caleb did have 250 yards.
Yep.
He is, as we talked about before starting this, he's 600 yards away from hitting that 4,000 yard marker. Let's talk about that real quick. Do you think in these next 2 games that he's capable of hitting that 4,000 mark, or do you think that unfortunately he's going to fall short?
With the injury report coming out and the receivers coming back and a good weather in San Francisco, I think we have a good chance of hitting that 300 mark. It would be nice to see that, but we also seen a coach and team that is selfless, and will worry about the overall team as far as winning and worry about other statistics later. So, like, selfishly, I would love to see him hit that 300 plus mark and show and just dominate that San Francisco defense. At the end of the day, as long as we win, it doesn't matter. I mean, it'd be nice to have that 4,000, but as long as we win, I could care less.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the victory is the most important, but I was interested in seeing what you thought, because as we talk about our Week 17 game, I'll get a little bit deeper into it, but I think that the game plan that they're going to be playing for Week 17, I do not think that he'll be able to hit that 4,000 mark.
No,
not because he's not able to, but I just think that the game plan favors
You have to
run
run the
more.
ball. You have
Yeah.
to run the ball. You have to keep the ball away from McCaffrey because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna dink and dunk or run the ball with McCaffrey, and we've been known to let running backs just destroy us. So
Right.
that's not a favorable matchup as far as defensive wise for us. But you know, we know what they're gonna do. I hope we can just figure out a way to stop them.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, let's talk about this real quick. The Pro Bowl voting is out. All right. 3 Bears have been voted to the Pro Bowl. Tooney, Dahlman, and Byard all voted in. There were some snubs, in my opinion. Eric, what's one of the snubs that you think that the Bears had that probably should have been there?
Personally, I think all of our offensive line should have made that, besides our left tackle, obviously, because we've had inconsistency play and they're just not a solid play. But Darnell Wright has been playing to a Pro Bowl caliber, and Jonah Jackson has come on really good at later on of the season. You know, I don't want to take all of them, so I'll just keep it to that. Just our right side of our offensive line, I thought deserved to be added to that part, or at least second team, just because I mean, you know, even players say it's a popularity contest at the end of the day, and it kind of sucks when you have players come on and show out like they have.
Right, right. And I had Wright, definitely probably should have been there, should have made it. And then I had Nashon Wright getting snubbed. And I was on the fence with that one a little bit, but considering he's tied for second with interceptions, but he has given up the most touchdowns also by a corner too when he's thrown it.
Stefan Diggs did the same thing, but he still made the Pro Bowl.
No, I understand
No.
that, but I'm just saying that I was on the fence. I think he was snubbed, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah. I'm just saying that's where I said the popularity contest,
right?
Because
Which we'll touch base with in a minute. But I just think that that's the two. If I had to pick two guys that were snubbed, I think you're right. I think Jonah Jackson's come on better, but he had a very rough first couple of starts with the Bears with false start penalties, holding penalties.
I think he needed to get playing shape. He was a little big. And then you know, look at the amount of turnovers, overall turnovers that Nashon Wright has. Just like he has 5 interceptions and the four forced fumbles. I mean, that's 9 turnovers total. That's more than a lot of teams.
Most teams.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just I agree with you 100%. He definitely got snubbed there. Yeah, I mean, he should be in consideration at least to make an all team or like a what is it? I don't know about all pro, but it would be interesting to see that.
This is my question to you guys. Jake, a lot of these guys, their contracts, they get bonuses when they get voted to the Pro Bowl, right? Or they're voted all pro, either one of those. Usually there's a bonus attached to those. Those bonuses are attached based upon, like Eric said, a popularity contest. Does there need to be a change to maybe the way I know they don't play the actual game, but if there's bonuses attached to that, should there be a different way that they actually approach the Pro Bowl versus a popularity contest?
I'd say so. I mean, let me say this for sure. You know, one person that I thought should have made the Pro Bowl, and that's just watching tape after him, you know, is Wright. And he played some nasty fucking football.
Right.
And that to me, it's a shocker. But to me, it just needs to be, you know, besides the big names, you know, obviously you gotta look at it, you know, stat for stat, you know, video for video on who is doing their job and playing lights out. You know, you can't just go off superstars, you know. I guess the best way to put it.
Right. Eric, we have a bunch of sports writers that they put their vote in when it comes to making the Hall of Fame. All right. And that's a process that I know takes some time because obviously they put out the candidates and they have semifinalists and then they pick their final picks. But that's done by sports writers. Do we need to go to sports writers for the Pro Bowl?
I mean, it shouldn't even be that hard of a thing. You should just go from the best of the best. I mean, I know statistics can lie sometimes, but at the end of the day, if you're putting up numbers, then you're putting up numbers. And
right, but who should be making that decision? So it's not a popularity.
So you want? I mean, I know what you're saying. Should we have a committee like the Hall of Fame has with the writers?
Right.
But like, what's the better option? That's why I'm saying, could you just have just stats? Whoever has the highest passing touchdowns or interceptions or whatever, and then have some type of equation that just gives you boom, boom, boom. These are the people, or is it the players that sell the most jerseys and have popularity as well? Like that's the hard part.
I know the NFL wants those guys, so they sell more jerseys, especially when they put the Pro Bowl jerseys out there.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, I think that if you're going in fairness off bonuses and stuff like that, do you want some 12-year-old kid that his favorite guy is this guy and he doesn't know his stats, but it's his favorite guy who played 6 games like Joe Alt in San Diego, who made the Pro Bowl, but like I said, played 6 games. Do you want that guy voting for the people to get in, or do you want guys who have wrote about it and studied the film and done their homework on these guys that's controlling their money? I know that the Pro Bowl bonus is probably not something, elite, but it's money, and I know all of us like money. So if somebody is responsible for giving you maybe a possible raise, Eric or Jake, do you want somebody who just thinks that somebody's cool, or do you want somebody who knows the actual stats?
Someone who knows the actual stats. I mean, you said it perfectly, like Joe Alt, played 6 games. There's plenty of other people, that are working their ass off, literally playing lights out and not even getting that shot,
Yep.
No, yeah, I don't disagree with you, Chad. I don't know if there's a easy answer, because I feel like the fan part of it makes it fun for everybody too, that you have a say.
What if they were to take a percentage of those votes to go towards the actual voting of the Pro Bowl itself? So if you took 70% of the writers' votes and then took like 30% of the fan votes and put it in as part of that tally, I mean, that way you're still getting the fans somewhat. I struggled with the 2 guys I thought that should have been there, and knowing that it's a popularity contest when you see certain teams that have too many guys in and really don't deserve to be there.
You have a point. I don't disagree with you. I mean, there is that. Somebody or something will change. It will change. You see this year having the tackles having or offensive line is going to get the protection award, and they didn't have that prior year, so that's nice to see change.
Yeah. Well, that's our thoughts. That's our takes, definitely on the Pro Bowl, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that either agree or disagree. And I don't know if there's a true great answer for it, but definitely a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Week 17, very important game for the Bears going into San Francisco. What's the injury report look like?
Not a few questionable players, but big out is Roma Dunze for us. That sucks that we lose our big target. And we know that Caleb and him have big. They have a good connection. But the other good news, we have Luther Burton back, which is good to see. That gives us an option, better than Zacchaeus dropping the ball in a big situation like the week prior. And then with the 49ers, nothing really big besides 2 questionable with Ricky Pearsall and Kittle. They both have ankle injuries, but probably will play, it seems like.
Yeah, I heard Kittle, it was questionable. But
he's a Bears fan. I feel like he'll want to play just because,
I mean, realistically, they're in the playoffs already. So do you take the chance of Kittle really aggravating that bad with our linebackers like they are, or do you have him rest up and just get ready for what you
probably have him rest up? I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it's probably going to be like a Rome situation, because our coach even said that we're saving him for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you look at Rome at the end of that victory, I mean, he's jumping up and down. You know what I mean? He's celebrating with everybody. So I think you're right. I think that with Rome, it's definitely one of those situations where there's letting him rest it, not putting any undue pressure on there, and that way he can come in and be ready for the playoffs. He may not even play for the Detroit game, I would guess.
I'm curious to see what they end up doing if they end up playing everybody that game, because if we don't have a chance to win that first overall spot, we might have to sit our players down. What do you think? Do we play everybody?
I think it depends. Why would you give away Green Bay does too, though?
Why would you give up the 2 seed?
No, I think the number 1 and 2 seed are pretty much locked. I thought.
The Bears are number 2 seed right now.
No, yeah, I know. I'm saying the 1 and 2 right now. I'm
Oh,
saying
I didn't think they were locked.
they're not? Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
I didn't think they were locked.
I don't know. I'm asking here. I thought the 1 and 2
Right.
were pretty much like it's either Seattle or us. But
Yeah,
maybe
I'd
it's
have to take a look at it.
maybe it's this week. Yeah, we'll come back. Sorry, I should have looked that up, but
No, we're good.
yeah, maybe it will all depend on the 1 and 2 seed, like you said. And then we'll have to play the Packers and spank their asses for real this time.
Right.
I'd be
And
okay with that.
that's the other aspect of it is if the Bears win obviously this week, then they won the division. Period. The Green Bay cannot. If we drop this game, then we have to play everybody that following week, because if Green Bay goes and beats the Ravens and then has a good chance of beating the Vikings to finish out the season and win the North, that'd be very ugly for us.
I'll be a Vikings fan when they play them, just because.
Right.
I mean,
But that's why I'm saying I
No,
don't
I
see us
understand.
resting our players, and I
No,
don't know
yeah.
if Ben Johnson goes that route.
No, that's my
Yeah.
question. I'm like, do we rest just because we don't want a Caleb or a Rome or a Swift to be injured going into our first playoff game since 2018? I mean, it's crazy to say that, but that's how long it's been, and I would rather want a healthy team than a
Yeah.
banged up team going into that.
We'll know more of that definitely after the game Sunday night. All right, let's talk about that Sunday night game, guys. I'll tell you what, this is what I think. You guys tell me what you guys think, and maybe we got different views on how that game should go. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think that you're going to see a game, maybe the Bears in the mid-20s for point-wise. I'll give my point prediction when we're done talking about this, but I think you're going to see the Bears run the ball. I think San Francisco's proven that they're very susceptible to the run. I think the Bears run it down their throat. We don't throw the ball very much. That does two things. Obviously, clock control, and it keeps Brock Purdy off the field, and it doesn't allow him to build a rhythm. And we all know what happens when Brock Purdy does not get in rhythm. He throws a lot of interceptions. So I think with saying that, I think you're going to see Purdy with at least 2 interceptions this week. And I think the Bears are going to pound the ball pretty much the whole game. So that's my thought process on the game. Jake, what's yours?
So I'm right there with you. I mean, pound that rock. I mean, it's no secret. We got a great running, so utilize it. Utilize all we can.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Eric?
I'm going to be the country, not just because I don't want to play that part. I'm just saying I think they're more susceptible in the pass game because they are like the 23rd defense against the pass, but they do get a good pass rush, and the run defense, they're strongest in the middle now that Bose is out, and without Fred Warner. It's just hard for me to not want to find a way to dominate them, as far as just like you said, control the clock. And then, like you said, the run game would probably be the best option, but if they're more susceptible with the pass, you might have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe short passes. I just think the more you keep Purdy off the field, the more you're throwing him
No,
off
I don't
rhythm.
disagree with you. I mean, like if Justin was here, I would tell him, it's great to overpay for a Kirk Cousins 2.0, but then he would say he had 6 touchdowns last week. We don't care about that. But it's
that's what happens when you allow him to get in rhythm, though.
Exactly. Once he gets,
happens.
that's exactly what happened. And he's a good game manager, and they have the best offensive mind, I think, in the NFL with their head coach. So he'll definitely be able to scheme something up for them.
Yeah, you have 2 very good offensive-minded coaches against each other.
Top 3, I think, personally. Selfishly,
Yeah.
I think they're top 3.
Yeah, and with 2 very bad defenses.
No, exactly. I mean,
the only thing is we get the turnovers. That I will say. So, but Eric, do you have a final score prediction?
Like you said, I think we win 24-17 Bears. I don't think it's going to be a blowout game or anything, but they will end up having. My big prediction for this, we'll have, like you said, 3 turnovers, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery, I think.
Gotcha. Jake, what do you got for final score prediction?
I like how me and Eric are thinking like-minded for for the 49ers. I got it, 21-17. I don't think it's, like you said, I don't think it's a blowout, but I think we get the job done. The Bears have proven they can get it when they need it.
Absolutely. And I think it'll be 27-20. That's my final score prediction. I think they win by a touchdown. I think it'll be a little bit of a pulse racer, but not like last week's game. That's for sure.
And
I don't think
used to
that's a
that now.
possibility. So who knows? Who knows? It is the Bears. And
I mean, that reminds me, Chad. I was going to ask you, I was old enough to remember this game, but I didn't know the significance. It was like with the Cardinals game, the infamous Cardinals game back in 2005-06. Was that similar, you think? Did you feel the same impact with the Bears game?
With that Bears game, you never really worried too much because that defense was that good. So did I think they were going to lose? Trying to think back. Yeah, I probably was like, man, this game's over. And then all of a sudden, here they are. What sticks more in my mind, and you guys, unfortunately, are not old enough to remember this, but I challenge anybody that's listening to this who is not old enough to remember this, and for you guys to go back and watch it, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, is that the Minnesota Vikings Chicago Bears game in 1985. We were down by 21 points. And Jim McMahon came back into the game. He had been injured, came into the game and threw 3 touchdown passes. The Bears went on to win that game. That's probably what I put to as an equivalent to what happened last Saturday, with feeling like, all right, this game's just not going to happen, to all of a sudden like, oh shit, here we go. You know what I mean? That's what I equivalent to. If you get a chance, anybody go watch any of that footage. We'll see what I'm talking about.
I will also say the 49ers have not matched up good against us. I mean, last time they came to Chicago, we beat them with Justin Fields in that rain game. So, I mean, we got a chance here. They did get better with adding Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator, but
Absolutely.
we got Allen as our defensive coordinator, 2 really good defensive coordinators.
I give Saleh the edge on that one.
No, I'm not saying that he's not Allen's better, but I do like Allen as a defensive coordinator. Definitely better than Eberflus, and 2 good coaches.
No, I don't disagree. To me, I put Saleh up there with like the Vic Fangio's and just outstanding defensive coordinator.
I think Allen could be top 7, top 6,
top 10, maybe top 10.
Whatever.
I don't like the bend don't break. I don't like the bend don't break.
I don't like it either. I mean, I get pissed off. I was like yelling at my screen, tackle that MFer. What are we doing? And they're just driving down the field 10 minutes later. But I'm just happy we were able to hold them off.
Right. All right, Jake, you joined us this week. We appreciate it. What do you got in closing?
It's good to be back for the time being. If you guys need me, I'm here. Other than that, I'm still, upset at Eric that, he can't count after all this time. We've been doing the podcast. So if you guys could, just in his spare time, teach him how to count. Yeah, other than that, thank you for watching.
All right, Eric, what you got in closing?
I thought me and Jake got closer after that Vikings game. He said he wanted to touch me in the bathroom. And I told him, no, our family's here. So don't let him lie to you guys. Okay. He's a little weird. Anyways, I really appreciate everybody watching. We're going to be watching this 49ers game. Like we said, I think we got it. Hopefully we can win out, get that number 1 spot, and then get a week off, get healthy, and, bear down.
Absolutely. Well said, guys. All right. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Be safe if you're going out. And make sure you have a DD. Think of everybody around you. This year's done for our podcast. Like I said before, we are a year and a half into this, having a lot of fun, and appreciate everybody who has joined us and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, please drop us a subscription, and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Be kind to each other. We're out. Peace.